Well, I guess since we're talking about Helldivers, we can go into one of our main topics for today, which is, I guess, the entire Helldivers to Sony situation that occurred in between the podcasts, which I believe is resolved at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But it's content, so we should still cover it. We gotta milk that
why
content.
did we cover content?
Yeah.
We don't cover content here.
I was going to bring it up, but then I was like, what's the point, considering it's all resolved now and they're going back
Well, that's
to what
the
it was
point.
before.
We should talk about it because it's important to, like, I don't know.
The Helldiver stuff?
The thing that
like
was shitty was people, like countries that couldn't have PSN would have been fucked over by this.
Mhm.
I had a few friends that tried to refund when that happened, and Steam were like, nope,
Whoa.
no refund. Even
Yeah,
though you
at
can't play the
first-
game anymore, no refund. Yet people were like,
At first, they were
"Oh,
like,
just
no
refund."
refund. Yeah.
No, yeah, but they tried and they couldn't.
Yeah, no. At
Man.
first,
Even afterwards.
Steam wasn't
Even
doing
afterwards.
refunds because, they hadn't. Well, I heard a bunch of people did refunds.
Yeah, I heard that few
Yeah,
did as well.
I'm telling you right now, I was in a call with everyone. They tried doing it when it first happened. It didn't work. And then they tried doing it again after the Steam thing went, okay, we'll do it. And it still didn't work.
Look, I'm just saying my take on this is...
Okay. We're waiting.
Your take on it?
Yeah, you're waiting?
Is?
Yeah, sorry, my take on it is... if it didn't affect you directly by not being able to play the game, you're a big fucking whine baby. Just make the fucking account. You make accounts literally everywhere, all the time, on every goddamn website. Just make the fucking account, shut the fuck up, and play the goddamn game.
It's not the game, but okay.
I don't
Deal
think
with the
that's the
spicy
point.
take for today.
I don't like it when people compare it to like, oh, you had to make an account to play Halo, you had to make an account to play this. It's like, yes, but you had to from the very beginning of the game. It wasn't
They were saying you had to from the very beginning, but they had like a little grace period. It was actually stated previously. No, it was stated. It was stated that you had to, but there was like some fucking small like little thing that was like, oh, this won't go into effect till later, right? And you could just press skip, but it told you had to at the, like when you even launched the game. Because I read it and it said that you had to, and I was like, what? But why is it the skip button? So I hit skip because I was like, well, it says you have to, but I can press this skip button. So do I really have to? I click the skip button and I skipped it, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. So I don't need to then. But it did say I have to, and then later on they were like, well, when this little grace period's over, now you have to. So you did have to from the start, technically, but not really.
So
I think what it should have done is instead of it saying, oh, you have to, and then it's like, no, you don't.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have to, then it should literally go to a make an accounts page.
Yeah.
Right.
It should have. They should have done that, but they didn't do that.
It should have instantly, because a lot of other games have done that. Every other game I've played that have an account thingy has gone, you press A and it goes, okay, make an account.
Well, that's
and
the
it's
thing.
like, okay, I'll do that then. Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
And that's their fault.
I believe what the CEO was saying, they were having like server issues on the day of release, and that's why they let people skip it.
That doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter because it's a completely different server. The game servers are different from the website servers with profiles. It wouldn't have affected anything. Linking them to the game would have affected something. They weren't linking it to the game yet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
They maybe should have done it differently, but the fact of the matter is they did state that you did need to get an account when you launched the game. They just didn't care to like actually what's it called?
The same thing is game developers should know by now that people will literally just tap A to skip through everything. Unless you have that thing where you tap A and it goes make an account.
Yeah.
You're ignorant. It's like ignorance isn't bliss here. Like it's like if you decide to make it, they can just still play the game without making an account. You can't complain when people complain about it later.
Yeah, I definitely agree that like there's a bit of blame.
When it came to playing Halo, you have to have a Microsoft account. Okay, I'll sign in because I have to. It's literally telling me I have to. Okay, I'll do that.
I feel like most games shouldn't have a sign in the first place, but like,
yeah, I agree.
Obviously, it's going to become a thing for
because that's a selling point for some people. It's like, guess what? If this was from the very beginning, I'm sure Helldivers 2 would have had a drop in sales by 40% almost if this was a forced thing.
Well, okay, no, probably not 40%, but it would have been lower. I don't know if
the amount of people that hate PSN because of its shitty security.
Yeah, but I feel like most people
is very high.
I feel like what's it called? I feel like PlayStation sales of the game are a lot higher in terms of the sales than the Steam sales, just because PlayStation's a bigger platform for newer games.
Well, I'm also saying 40% would have dropped as well because people in other countries wouldn't have been able to fucking buy it anyway.
Yeah, true. But PlayStation's market's still bigger. That's the thing. PlayStation's market's still bigger than all those countries having access to it and shit. So I don't know.
I'm also talking about Steam and not PlayStation. Like, I'm only talking about Steam.
So you mean 40% of Steam sales will drop? Yeah,
yes.
Maybe, probably.
Yes.
But
which is unfortunate. And then people are like, you could literally just make an account in a different country and do that. It's like, guess what? Sony is very well known for banning people for doing that because it's against the EULA.
Yeah.
So they'd be banned up playing the game and not be able to play it.
Yeah, you like fuck up and like change too many locations, like maybe you use a different fucking VPN too many times, they probably will catch on to that and they'll be like, oh, this user's like jumping around and shit. And they're like, oh.
PSN hasn't really been known to be very customer friendly when it comes to banning and all that kind of stuff. So
okay,
a lot of people just
finally
prefer to get away from it. But anyway.
Yeah, I did see
I'm
that.
glad they've decided to go back. Honestly, it should have been from the very beginning. Like I stated this to friends. It's like, I mean, I'm still going to play the game. I still like it. It is dumb how they handled it. But, you know, you get these things, unfortunately. Arrowhead should not have taken the blame for this. It should have been Sony from the very beginning. Because Arrowhead, from what I've seen, Arrowhead are pretty vocal towards Sony, trying to talk to them and email them constantly about stuff. And Sony are just people that don't give a shit and only answer when they feel like it.
Yeah.
Sony should be the guys getting their heads ripped off, not Arrowhead.
And thankfully, for the most part, true. It seems like that they have been taking the most of it, which they should. It's a very dumb thing that Sony like and pushed Arrowhead to do, because like from what I understand, like Sony didn't care for a while, and then Sony was like, okay, no, you have to make this mandatory now. We're forcing the grace period's over. You got to have everyone sign up for accounts.
Yeah, we need to look good for the shareholders and the investors. Hurry up. We need more numbers of users and all that on our profile, so we have more information that we can sell, all this other shit.
Yeah.
One of the things I find wild about it is like they what's it called? Is they knew it was going to happen and they didn't like preemptively like warn, like they didn't come up with like a response or something or preemptively tell anyone that it was like this is going to happen at some point, guys. Like they didn't say anything like that. And they knew that it was going to happen in a bunch of countries as well. Like one of the head mods, I don't know if it's called mod, one of the head like community managers, that's what it's called. Yeah, one of the head community managers didn't inform the other community managers on how to react to this shit happening because like they knew it was going to happen. They said that this head community manager knew it was going to happen and didn't inform like all the other people like, hey, look, this is going to happen. This is our plan of attack when we're questioned about this thing because there's going to be like backlash. They said they knew there was going to be backlash. So it's like, and they knew exactly what backlash.
Yeah. And
that's so fucking stupid.
And that's why I definitely think Arrowhead deserves a tiny bit of flack for this, for like knowing about this and not preparing about this, or if not, at least talking to Sony about this beforehand, because they should have known that like a bunch of people would just lose access to the game because not everyone can make a PSN account. Like they should have known, and they should have talked to Sony about this beforehand.
At that point, Arrowhead, like it's like it seems like it's one person at Arrowhead that should have called all the flack because they didn't do their job. And I'm pretty sure they just the person that didn't let people know actually just got fired from community manager.
I believe that was the same person who made that one comment to someone in the Discord that was thrown around a bunch online.
That one wasn't. That person might have got fired as well because their responses were really bad. But like they weren't the head one. The head one got like a lot of flack. Like but the person underneath it said a bunch of shit that was like conflicting that got taken out of context and shit.
Yeah.
Like the person who was like, oh, just sign up. It's not that hard. Yeah. And it was like, well, you can't sign up in other countries. And then they had to release a thing saying, sorry, I didn't realize that was the case. And it was really insensitive.
I didn't realize that was the case. You know, it's like, I don't know my job because blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Because they weren't informed by their fucking lead person on all the issues that would have arisen. Their lead person should have told them.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
But then again, their response shouldn't have been to attack the community. It shouldn't have been
sign up, forehead. That is a good way to say, you know, shit to people. It's, you know, how about be a bit more professional?
Because there is definitely a lot of people who care about privacy, and PlayStation's had a lot of fucking data leaks, right?
Yeah. Like you could literally
like
just be like
passwords and shit. Like,
yeah, that's why people don't like it most of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's fine signing up to things, but like some people want to limit the amount of things they want to sign up to, and they will intentionally not get a game because they know that the service that they're signing up to is not something they want to, like, you know, want to have their information linked to. So some people just don't want to link to Sony at all, and they might not care if they're linked to Steam, because Steam has been a little bit better with data.
All right, next topic. Come on, we're talking circles. Come on, next topic. Move on.
I think
holy fuck, we're on the seventh circle round.
Then, huh?
New game 9.
That's not the topic.
Okay,
I think the elves in Skyrim suck.
Right, no, okay, so the thing I was going to get to with Helldivers is it didn't deserve the review bombs because, you know, they're all fuckwits. I reckon pitchforks and everything. I think it's fine. It's not.
No, I think it's fine. I think that at first I disagree with the review bombs, but I think it's fine in the fact that everyone who review bombed it was planning on changing it back when shit went well after. And it was just more of a thing to show Sony, hey, this fucking sucks. We are going to ruin your game because you fucked with it. Like, I think it's fair in that regard. Honestly, I know
that's not the review bombs I'm talking about. So I'm talking about the dickheads that review bomb and then don't give a shit and don't change it. Because then you got those same dickheads that went to Helldivers 1 and review bombed Helldivers 1.
Okay, yeah, that's a little dumb. But what I was going to get to was that
anyway,
during that, I think there's one positive takeaway we can get from the situation is that vocal community action, when done in a way that is not done in a way that being jerks and all, is not being disruptive, can have actual change, because all the refunds and all the negative reviews on the Helldivers 2 Steam page definitely helped make Sony change their mind. It is a nice use. And even like the CEO was like, if you guys disagree with this, you should definitely leave a negative review and refund.
Yeah.
And because this kind of stuff is something that you could show to a bunch of big wigs at Sony, like, hey, we need to roll back this change. We're losing money. we're this is negatively affecting us. We have to roll back this change. And this, I would like to think that this shows the power of community action in these situations, that communities can achieve positive action when they work together like this.
It's just weird to me because, like, with them saying that, they also said, why are people review bombing us? Well, it's like, they're telling everyone to review bomb. Like, I don't get that. So, as Siel said, a lot of in circles, it's just like, I feel like some parts of like Arrowhead or whatever aren't informed of what other parts of Arrowhead are doing.
So that's what I was saying. Yeah, community
and we
managers.
said that, as we said before. Yeah, but anyway,
the community managers didn't communicate things properly, so a lot of people in the community managers like, hey, please don't do this. But like the people at Arrowhead were saying, yes, community, like, make sure you make your displeasure known, because, like, you know, we can show Sony that, hey, look, our game is going to die and you're going to lose everything in it just because of this thing. So, I mean,
they make so much money from it too, actually. Like, they actually have been making a lot of money from it, which is probably why Sony changed their tone, which is nice. So, again, when a game... this is in general now, like, you know, push aside the Helldivers thing. Community voice and opinion is like, you know, if you can all just stand together instead of like fighting amongst yourselves against something you don't like, can incite change in games that you love.
Yes, exactly.
And not just games, like lots of things. Like, for instance, the whole Sonic movie thing, when that happened, remember everyone was like, oh, Sonic looks disgusting, and then they changed him, you know? Yeah. And he looks like way better now, and like the feeling of the movie was a lot better because of it, right? So on and so forth. It's just like, do it in a non-destructive way. You know, don't send death threats or anything like that. Like, that's just cringe.
Yeah.
Just review, you know, send in feedback. Very well worded feedback, not just like, oh, game sucks, haha, you know. Like, say why it's bad, you know, and show that you know what you're talking about a little bit when you're describing a problem that you're having. It will help, because people won't know how to change it if you don't say what needs to be changed.
A lot of people don't submit bug reports, and that's why a lot of bugs aren't found in games, because like only like a handful of people will ever go through the time and effort to, you know, stop playing their game, go to a forum, fill out a bug report or whatever, right? Or anything like that.
So